Hi friends, I'm back again with another video. My name is Leah Shimba and I just came on here today to continue with my testimony basically. And today I want to talk about how the enemy was able to capture my attention basically. So before basically the enemy started capturing my attention from my rape, from my rape, because for many years he had tried and tried and tried to get me, involved in relationships. Grow for many years, you guys. Like if I can tell you, when I was younger, fun enough, this is real story. When I was young, like 7 8 years in Tanzania, I had this man like follow me like from when I was that young, I think 7 or maybe younger, I don't know. As far as I can remember being in Tanzania, I had this man. He was older. He was in maybe mid 20s or whatever. He used to follow me around everywhere, telling people I was his wife. I was his future wife, that he was waiting for me to grow up and for him to marry me, from when I was that young, And he would say this to even my parents, and everyone around made a joke about it, but it didn't seem like a joke at the same time because people took it pretty seriously. This man, like, he took me sort of like his responsibility in a way. Because I remember I was young, like this guy will take me to shops and buy me toys. Like he will take me to shops and buy me candy, only me, not other kids, He would walk with me holding my hand for all these years, from like when I was about 7, 8 to 13, to basically the time that I left that country, So I had this man really, like he was courting me, like, or training me from when I was a child basically to become his wife. And so people around me had made it like a joke, like they would call me his wife and all that and make jokes. And I found it nice. I found it interesting because he was a rich man. He was a rich man and he was very respected. So I don't know, being a child and in that culture, it seemed normal. It seemed like there was nothing wrong with that. So, well, I didn't mind it too much, And he paid me a lot of attention. So, yeah, so you can imagine. So I think this would be the first attempt of the enemy trying to get me into a, some weird relationship. Yeah, so because to many, some people took it as a joke, but I don't think they did. Because I remember there was a time when I was maybe 12 years, and I think there was a man who tried to hit on me. Yeah, he tried, a boy who tried to hit on me. And then some other guys were around there. They shut that boy up very quickly. They told him, no, that is so and so's wife. That is so and so's wife. Don't joke with her. Like that serious. And the man was shut up. Like he was shut, and he walked away like very scared. So yeah. So and whenever someone will try, that man's name will be mentioned, and they will literally stop. Either that man's name or my father's name, because my father's name was pretty known. Yeah, guys. So I will say this were the very first attempts of the enemy trying to, get me under, some type of bondage. Yeah, some type of bondage, maybe voluntary bondage or whatever, because I would have had to agree. And I remember when I was 12, after puberty, after I started my period, this man, he found out, of course, because he always came to our house to pick me. He was a friend of the family and all that. I remember he saw me somewhere. I was walking, I think I was just outside our house, and he called me somewhere in private, and I went, and just like to stand somewhere with him, and he asked me if when I finish primary school, I would have been, I think, 14, or if when I finish primary school I would marry him. And I remember I said yes, because this was normal to me. This was, it's like I knew this was what was gonna happen, in a way. So imagine, guys, at this point I think I was 12. I was 12. I had just started my period. So guys, so the enemy started very early. So I dodged that bullet. My mother came, as I had told you, she came when I was 13, and she took me away. She brought me to Kenya, where I got to to get education and stuff. Of course, I didn't go as high as I wanted to go, but hey, I'm not illiterate. That if that happened to me, I would have literally have been as good as an illiterate woman, probably with so many kids by now. And later, this man ended up marrying, I think, 3 or 4 wives, because the last time I was there in A level from 5 and 6, he had 3 wives already. He was a Muslim, of course. So guys, so throughout my teenage, of course, as a normal girl, there is always all these boys trying to hit on you. I remember there was another time where in the orphanage where we lived, I used to be used to be very close friends with some of the boys. They were older boys, older in high school, and anyway, I'll say maybe 3-4 years older. And I remember there was this time we were walking around, and they convinced me to go walking with them to, there was an army barracks next to the orphanage. We used to go there for we called it motocross. Yeah, motocross, bike rides, competition. We would go there. Bikes will be competing every Sunday. It was something we enjoyed doing, because the place is very hilly, lots of trees and stuff, and dirt and roughness. So we would go there every Sunday to watch the riders. So these boys were very good friends of mine. So they asked me to go walking. I used to be, as I told you before, I was this carefree type of girl, So I didn't find anything wrong with that. So I went walking with them. And they took me inside the barracks. This was past 7. Yeah, it was past 7 in the night. But I felt safe because these boys were older. I think maybe they were 18, 19, 20, around that age. And so we were walking around together in the barracks. It's bushy, we are walking. They told me they were going to see their friend. So we go, we walk, and then one of them says, hey, I have to go and meet someone. He just says, I have to go and meet someone. I'll meet you guys back a little bit later. So I'm like, how is he meeting us later? How long are we supposed to stay here? Because I thought we were just taking a walk, for a few minutes. So he leaves. Well, he leaves, and then I'm left with one of them, and we keep walking, and this guy, some guy comes from nowhere. One of the soldiers comes from nowhere, an older man, maybe he was in mid-30s. At this time, I'm 14. I may have been 14 at this time. So this soldier comes and he signals to this friend of mine, and the friend of mine tells me, I have to go find the other friend who left us. I have to go find him. I will be back. So I'm like, how are you leaving me here alone with this stranger? And he says, don't worry, I'm going to be back for you. And this man runs away. He runs and leaves me with this stranger in the middle of the night. At night, I think maybe it was at 8 at this time. And he leaves me. Now I'm like, what is going on? So he runs away. And then I'm like, now what am I supposed to do? Because this man holds my hand. So he holds my hand and he's walking with me inside the barracks. Right now it's the British Army barracks or something. Is being changed. It used to be the Kenyan barracks. So he walks with me, and he's trying to hit on me. I'm saying no, because pretty much I'm innocent. I don't know nothing much. So he's walking with me. We are walking, and he's trying to tell me, he was trying to ask me to sleep with him. I tell him, no, I'm not going to do that. He's trying to tell me, I'm going to marry you. A 14-year-old. I'm going to marry you. Don't worry about it. I'm telling him no, because at this time I had found Christ, and I knew, I knew better. So I say no, and we are walking. Fun enough, he's walking with me, but he's walking with me towards the gate where there's light now. There's light. Towards the gate, not too close. I don't know measurements, but maybe a few meters. I don't know how to measure. So I could see the gate, and it was getting brighter. There was a lot of light there. So we are walking towards the gate, but it's grassy, and there's still small trees, So we are walking, and all of a sudden, because I'm resisting at this point, he's trying to be nice, but I'm resisting and I'm getting annoyed. So all of a sudden he trips me, and I fall on the ground. I fall on the grass, and this guy comes on top of me, and I'm like, what just happened? What is just about to happen, And then just at this moment when this guy does this, one of the boys comes through the gate. He comes and he's coming very quickly, because I think by this time he thinks This man has finished what he wanted to do. So he comes and I see him. And I yell for him. I tell him, no, don't leave me, please help me. Don't leave me, please help me. So I'm calling him by his name, and he couldn't go, because he was a very good friend of mine. I don't know why they were doing this to me. So I'm calling him and I'm calling him and I'm calling him. Please don't leave me, please don't leave me. He comes back and this soldier is telling him, go away, I'll beat you, and all that. Apparently, I forgot to mention that this guy had given them money for beer. Yeah, he had bought them beer, so that's what they had gone to take, leaving me behind. So this boy couldn't go. One, he knows I live in the orphanage, and people in the orphanage knew I had left with them, and my mother was a staff member. So hey, if I guess if anything happened to me, I think it clicked in his mind. If anything happened to me, they will have to answer. So the boy couldn't leave me. So he comes back. And I grab his arm. At this time, I've struggled and I've gotten up. So this soldier is fighting between me and the boy. He's trying to tell the boy to go away and trying to keep me down as well. So I managed to get up. So I grabbed this boy's hand and I told him, you were not going to leave me. I won't let you go. So at this point, I'm crying, of course. So the boy couldn't leave me. He was pretty much a young man anyway. Yeah, so he couldn't leave me. So he couldn't leave me. He was scared of the soldier, but he did not let go of me. So yeah, so that's how I escaped, that ordeal, The devil started trying early. Yeah, so, but, and the Lord protected me throughout these years. So yeah, so you guys, so as I was saying before, the enemy got my attention with that rape, but the rape came, as I had mentioned, also because of my own vanity. God was very much at work trying to protect me from all these things for years and years, But anyway, eventually, what happened. And even in that, he protected me still. So guys, this is why I made this video today, to just say, I'm telling my story I'm hoping that it's someone out there who can relate to it, who has been victimized by the enemy, who has been victimized by a man. Maybe a man has been victimized by a woman, maybe when they were younger or when they are older, or whatever. Whoever has been sexually victimized, or any type of victimization. I tell my story so that anybody who may relate can see the hand of God in their lives, the hand of God in that situation as well, as much messed up as you may think your life is, like, can you look back and see where the hand of God has been on your life in that situation and after that situation happened to you, So yeah, guys, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, so can you see the hand of the Lord? And the enemy uses these things to ruin us, He uses, because he's a thief. He's a thief who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So he uses any means necessary. As the Bible says, that sexual sin is the only sin that is against your own flesh. Like when you sin sexually, you sin against your own flesh, So, and sex is so sacred, it's so sacred. It's like a form of worship, it is so deep, you guys. I'm not some big preacher who can really go deep into it and explain what sex is really about, but sex is a covenant. Basically, it is a covenant between the people who are participating in it, So when you willingly participate in sexual act, literally you are taking a covenant. And as I was listening to this pastor, I think it was Pastor Torre Roberts, he was explaining how when you have sex with someone, if they are possessed with some demons, those demons you contract as well. You get possessed through that way, If this person is carrying some type of possession or some type of curse or whatever, you might share it with these people, whoever you're sleeping with. So you can imagine people who have been sleeping around with people and they're still going to keep on doing. Some people don't even care, like, how many people they keep sleeping with, Yeah. I'm not saying that to say that I'm pure or innocent, or I did not myself have multiple partners before the Lord stopped me. Yeah. So guys, so yes, so the enemy tries to find ways to break us down. He finds yes, of course, when you are sexually assaulted, like myself, when I was sexually assaulted, I do not believe, I don't believe that the enemy got a hold of me, or got like he didn't get any right over me in a way, if I'm making any sense. But what did he do? By me getting assaulted, it got me so broken that I started moving away from the Lord. My foundation was strong in the Lord, so it took a lot of years before actually I myself willingly now opened myself up, to a man, to a married man, for that matter. Imagine, to a married man. And what did this open me up? So being raped slowly got me so depressed, got me so down, that I moved away from the Lord. I was so angry at the Lord. I felt that the Lord did not care about me, and I felt that the Lord did not care about sexual purity. Like keeping myself pure for marriage didn't matter to him anymore. So slowly, with exposure and all that, with this modern day, whatever, indoctrination of media and stuff, slowly, I got hooked. I got convinced that it wasn't important to keep myself pure, and it just all stemmed from my sexual assault. So slowly, I opened myself up to a married man. I got sexually involved, and I ended up involved with multiple partners myself, and it just, things went downhill from there, you guys. Like, yeah, you guys. So the enemy used that rape to get a hold of me, to get my attention. Basically, he used my rape to get my attention. So guys, it is so sad that when the enemy victimizes us, the enemy sends an attack on us when we are not alert, we don't have our armor up, we are not guarded, we are victimized, we are attacked. Then after the enemy has attacked us, we blame the Lord, who is the only help we have at that moment. He's the only comeback we have at that moment. Instead of us clinging to the Lord to heal us, because you get broken by that act. Instead of holding on to the Lord even tighter to heal us, the enemy deceives you. You feel angry at the Lord. You think the Lord is the one who led you to this thing. No matter which type of tragedy or which type of misfortune has fallen you, we tend to think God did it, God allowed it, God caused it, when it's not the truth, it's not the truth. So we step away from the only help that we have, basically, which is the Lord, our creator, our God, our Father, who is faithful. He is faithful. He loves us. He loves us so much, that when we are being attacked, I'm sure the Lord's heart is so grieved. So the enemy causes you to move away from God, to put the blame on God, who, of course, obviously isn't the one at fault, isn't the one who caused it. So this leads you far, and by being angry at God, the enemy takes now control over our lives. He leads us back. He like myself now, led me back, down the path of destruction, basically. So yeah, you find yourself, you've veered so far away from God. You find yourself, you've done so many things. Some people get into drugs. Some people become prostitutes, guys, because of rape. Especially because of rape. Many women have become prostitutes. Many men have become homosexual. Many ladies, many young women have become lesbians because of it. I was watching a story the other day of a lady who said she was so on fire for God until she was raped. That she was raped from when she was 5 years old, but she found the Lord and she was happy in the Lord, and she kept on being raped by men, even men in the church. And she felt God did not care about her. And now she's a lesbian, guys. But these are lies of the enemy, and he takes control of us after the act of sexual molestation, and he takes control and he leads us the path of destruction. If we don't pay attention to those God wings, if we don't pay attention, the enemy can really lead you down such a crazy path, become a drug addict. He is here to kill, steal, and destroy. So once he starts with getting you raped, then he starts slowly peeling away any conscious you have of godliness, and then you find yourself maybe addicted to drugs. Then maybe you become a gang member, maybe you become a thief, you become maybe a lesbian, this gender stuff, sexual whatever. And then maybe, can you imagine, you end up contracting HIV, or you end up being shot, or you end up overdosing. He doesn't have anything good for us. So yeah, guys, but the mercies of God are so good, guys. They are so good. God is always there calling. God is always there trying to capture your attention again. To say, my daughter, my son, I never moved away from you. I never moved away from you. I was right there with you. I kept you. I protected you. You survived it. You survived it. You made it out. You still have another chance, of life. But our anger blinds us, and we don't hear God. We don't hear God. It's not, we don't hear God. You're in so much pain to even, to care. Anyway, guys, so I know I'm ranting, but this has been something that has been in my heart, of the deception of the enemy, guys. The deception of the enemy. And nowadays I see, not even nowadays, like my conscious, or my mind has come to the realization of how early the enemy can try to mess our lives. How early can try to mess our lives. Like, for example, myself, if I give an example of myself. I was taken away from my mother, at a young age, at 5 years old. I was taken away from my mother through the enemy, because my dad left my mother with me and my sister, and I went to Tanzania. And as I told you, I went, and I was almost immediately, a few years later, I was in the hands of this man. I would say he's a predator. I was in the hands of this man, and if my mother did not come, if God did not send my mother to come get us, I would have been married off to this man as a child, and I would be maybe a grown Muslim right now. I wouldn't have known Christ or whatever, or So, such a young age, the enemy tries to mess with our lives. You find mothers, they leave their children for marriage. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not judging anybody, guys, because everybody was brought up under different circumstances, and everyone has different awareness of life and what is right or wrong. So, but to me, from the stories I've heard, the stories I've seen, children have been left by their parents, by their mothers, by their fathers, so young that they've been left vulnerable. The enemy takes advantage. Children get raped. Some of them get raped by the men that they are left under. It is so sad. And then the enemy takes control from this pain that this child grows up, with it. And then again they grow up and become prostitutes. They become, they have sexual identity issues and all that from a very young age. Young men, they're abused too when they are left by parents. So the enemy attacks us in so many ways. Poverty, people suffering from poverty. You cannot be there with your child to protect your child, to take care of your child. You have to go somewhere, hustle. Some parents leave their child to the streets, or you find a father and mother, they leave their child with no care. Anyway, guys, it really hurts my heart to know, to realize the schemes that he uses against us from when we are very young. I don't know. I always, if anybody asks me, any one of my friends, anyone I come across asks me about if they have a child and they are trying to choose between work and childcare, I always tell them to not choose work. If you can afford it, stay with your child. Like this thing of women saying a woman must have her own money. No. If you have a child, it's more important to take care of that child than make more money, And many of these people who say a woman must have her own money, it's women with husbands who can provide. But you choose to leave a child under a stranger's care, I'm not judging. There are people maybe have no choice. You may be a single mother, and you don't have any other choice. You have to go and hustle. Maybe the man does not provide or whatever. Anyway, in everything I just say, seek God, pray to God. He always shows the way, you know. Like for example, for myself, when before I was pregnant with my daughter, I kept on getting dreams from the Lord that I was gonna have a child. Over the recurring dreams of me having a child, recurring, like I think for over a year or a year and a half, I kept on having these dreams. But back in the day before I had my daughter, I wasn't paying attention much to my dreams. I didn't pay much attention to my dreams until after I had my daughter is when now my conscience started growing toward my dreams. So I used to have this recurring dream of me having my daughter, but in these dreams I would leave her and to go work, and I would be alone. I would be a single mother. So I'll have these dreams where I'm a single mother, I'm alone, I have a newborn baby, a little baby, you know, like less than a year old, and I would leave her, and I would leave her home with some type of care, and I would go to work. And when I would go to work, I would forget that I just had a baby. I would work and I would be so busy, and then I'll be like, it felt like in the dream, it was like a few days later, I would remember, oh my goodness, I just had a baby. So sometimes I remember a few times the dream was like 2 weeks later, I will remember I have a baby after I'm gone. I'll be like, oh my goodness, I just had a baby 2 weeks ago. Then I would rush home and I would find something had gone wrong with my child. This dream kept on coming over and over and over again. So when I had my baby, I was hustling in pregnancy. So I thought when I would give birth to her, I would immediately go back to work. But no, guys, since I gave birth to my daughter, I've just had this conviction. I had the memory of those dreams, and I knew the Lord was telling me not to leave my daughter. No, that He will be our provider, that He will take care of us. And He has, guys. My daughter is almost 8 right now, and the Lord has really taken care of us, you know. I am not where I am. I'm not where my human nature feels confident with financially. I still have anxiety sometimes, but let me tell you, as much as I've had anxiety, the Lord has not stopped providing. He's not stopped being good to us. He's not stopped being a father. Because every time I pray, I just tell God, you are the father that we have. You're the Lord, you know, you're the provider that we have. We have no one else. And the Lord has just been good, you guys. From when my daughter was born, He always gave me a way of providing for her from the house. I used to bake cakes for people, and me and my daughter, I would have my daughter on my back and I would go deliver cakes, even sometimes in the rain. Anyway, we were okay. I would provide. Sometimes clients would come to my house and pick their cakes. I did this for years. And when we were living at the orphanage, until we had to move out. Until we had to move out of the orphanage, the Lord just provided. I got a job in the orphanage, and my daughter went to school right there. You know, there was a very nice school there. It's international, actually. She will go there and find me at work when school is done. You know, like what? Like He provided until within the orphanage until my daughter was almost 6 years old, guys. Up to now that we've moved out of the orphanage after my mother has retired. So I couldn't stay in the orphanage anymore because I don't have a house to live in, and the job was offered, but the salary was too small. It couldn't pay for my house. You know, there was so much complication. I wished, you know, those people, you know, the story of the Israelites, how they wished they could go back to Egypt. They wish they could go back to Egypt. I've been having such, and I've been feeling like the Holy Spirit is rebuking me, telling me, stop it. Like, you sound like the Israelites who wanted to go back to Egypt. You know, like, haven't I been faithful? And He has been faithful. So yeah, guys. So yeah, I'm waiting for my miracle from the Lord. Like, when I'm gonna be. That's why I was feeling like for over a year I've been putting off these videos, this testimony that the Lord has been telling me to share for someone who might need to hear it. You know, I've been putting them off because I'm like, I want to share when God has done this and this and this for me, you know, so that I can come here and say, hey, this is my job. I do this. I earn this. You know, I have no stress. I have nothing. No, guys, I just can tell you, God has been good. He has been faithful, and His promises. He still has given me many promises that I'm still waiting for. I'm still waiting for them to be fulfilled. And I'm just praying that the Lord helps my unbelief. Yeah, I do believe His word is true. I do believe His promises are true. But I pray every day. I pray that God, I believe, help my unbelief. So guys, yeah, I know I'm rambling like I'm all over the place. yeah, guys, so I really hope my story touches someone's life. I hope you guys who get to see my story, you can share it with someone who needs it. If you are not the one who needs it, if you know someone who needs my story, who needs to hear my story, please share it with them. Share it with them so they can know the schemes of the enemies. They can know that there is hope after all these things. There is hope. There is no shame. There is no condemnation, guys. You know, many people, after they have been sexually assaulted, they feel shame. To me, I don't see why a sexually assaulted person should feel shame. Many people are sleeping around with tens of people, and they're giving themselves out for free. So if someone assaulted you sexually by force, how is that something to be ashamed of? I don't know. To me, I always saw it that way. That gave me a sense of no shame. I've never felt shamed. I never felt damaged. No, I never felt damaged, but I felt angry at God. That is what I felt, angry at God. Like, why didn't you rescue me? Though deep down I knew he did rescue me. Yeah, guys. So the people who feel shame in being sexually assaulted, I don't, that's a lie from the enemy. That's a lie from the enemy. Anyway, guys, so I hope, guys, if you watch my story, share it with someone who needs it. And guys, really, I really would like to hear from you guys. If anybody out there needs someone to talk to, needs someone to listen to them, needs someone to give them maybe their 2 cents of this life, if you need to talk to me, I'm available. You write to me, send me an email. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to be there. I would love to be there. I'm not just here to share my story and be like, okay, whoever watches it, whatever, good luck to you. No, I would love to hear from someone who may need to speak to me, who may need to speak to me, who may need me to just be there to listen, who may need me to give them advice, who may need me to hold their hand. I am pretty much free to do that, guys. I would really love to do that. So I think I would even give my number if someone may need to call me or text me, on WhatsApp or whatever. You can call me on 0798 10 16 88. I say it again, 0798 10 16 88. Guys, I really mean it. If you want to reach out to me, I am very much okay to hear from you. I'm very much okay to listen to you guys and to be there for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video has made sense, because I know I've been all over the place. My head has been all over the place with this, with this ministry. It is a ministry to me. Yeah, the Lord told me that this ministry is not by many people. It's not many people who have it. Yeah, he told me it's not very old either. Yeah, it's not an old ministry, and it's a ministry by a few people, and that's what he said it is. In a dream, of course. Yeah, and after he told me this, I was led to two young ladies. There are two young ladies who are in conflict with their family, and who they grabbed my hand and they walked away with me, basically, guys. So anyway, I digress. So guys, I hope this video made sense. I have not slept. It's 7 in the morning. I haven't slept yet. So I hope I made a lot of sense. Please, if anybody needs to reach out to me, do text me, do call me. I'll be free. I will be very much willing to hear from you. I hope you are blessed by my testimony, and I thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.